Honorable Speaker, I second.
Honorable members, I propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I put the question?
Yes.
Honorable members, I put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Sovereign Wealth Fund Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2026, be now read a third time. Honorable Speaker, as I request the Honorable Peter Kaluma to second, allow me, Honorable Speaker, to also take this opportunity to thank the members, first those who contributed during the debate in second reading, and more importantly, the members of the Finance and National Planning, including the Honorable Peter Opondo Kaluma, and many other members, including CPA Ruto, the one and only chairperson of that committee who took us through a very rigorous winnowing process last night. Honorable Speaker, may I report to you that the communication you did, we closed our meeting at slightly past 9 p.m. under the very able leadership and chairmanship of Honorable Kimani, the member for Molo. And Honorable Speaker, may I also take this opportunity to thank all the members, Honorable Oundo, Honorable Mukunji, Honorable Karoli Omondi, the leader, deputy leader of minority, Honorable Robert Mbui, the Honorable Mwenje, our deputy minority whip, the Honorable Makali Mulu, and Honorable Speaker, there are people who are soliciting for a mention.
Even Gloria proposed amendments.
But I am only mentioning the members who are in that winnowing process. And Honorable Speaker, let me say that winnowing process last night shepherded us through a new way of doing things. Not that winnowing is a new way in the House, but the give and take process that we have to go through in the legislative processes. And more importantly, Honorable Speaker, we came to an agreement during that process that what we were doing, we were legislating for posterity. We were not legislating for our political factions, not for our political parties, and even those in the opposition agreed that what we are doing was for the best interest of the people of Kenya. And I must thank all those members, and that's why I made particular mention of those members, because we put aside our political differences to legislate for our great nation. Honorable Speaker, let me say that in December last year, on the 15th of December, the cabinet approved a cabinet memo that forwarded these two bills, or spoke about the establishment of these two funds, the National Infrastructure Fund and the Sovereign Wealth Fund. And in that memo, Honorable Speaker, you remember the cabinet communique saying that these two funds would actually serve as the backbone of the government's plan to transition Kenya into a first world economy. And not just transition Kenya into a first world economy, but also doing it through a sustainable investment-led growth model that would drive us away from the old ways of either overburdening Kenyans with taxation or over-reliance on public debt. Honorable Speaker, this is a very momentous time for our country. The passage of this bill signifies that transition from a time where we over-relied on public debt, relied on burdening Kenyans with taxation, to an investment-led growth. And the establishment of these two funds, Honorable Speaker, will now properly set our nation onto the path of transitioning our nation from a third world or a growing middle income economy into a first world nation, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, to the naysayers, let me say this, Honorable Speaker. When we crafted our manifesto in 2022, and I know many people have accused President William Ruto of telling lies, when President William Ruto said that and reaffirmed that we shall implement the Kenya Kwanza manifesto page by page, sentence by sentence, from comma to full stop, and implement this manifesto entirely. The National Infrastructure Fund, the Sovereign Wealth Fund were part of that manifesto. The transition from NHIF to universal health coverage under SHA was part of that manifesto. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, our passage of this bill today is further implementation of the manifesto, which, Honorable Speaker, we are fortunate that you are part of crafting that manifesto. And you remember the long nights that we spent in Karen, then the Deputy President's office, official residence, crafting this manifesto, even coming up with this sovereign wealth fund.
Remember there's a day we sat for 25 hours.
Yes.
Yes.
And these are things, Honorable Speaker, that Kenyans may never know. But they have not come by accident. They are not opportunistic bills that are just finding their way into Parliament. They are well thought through processes that would augment our nation and move its economy to a first world economy, Honorable Speaker. Therefore, I must thank even those who are in the executive who have made sure that we are indeed implementing our manifesto as we sold it to the people of Kenya. Honorable Speaker, today we can proudly say that when in December 2025, that communique from the cabinet said that these two funds, once established, will set us on the motion of transitioning us to a first world nation and moving us towards an investment-led growth away from the public debt ridden and taxation burdens that are being put on Kenyans over the years. It sounded like it's neuroscience, Honorable Speaker. You remember, towards the end of the year, when the President spoke during the State of the Nation address, he spoke of an ambitious 5 trillion investment-led growth of moving our country forward. And many people thought it was just talk. And he said that for every shilling that we generate, we can leverage on that and raise another 10 shillings. And he said that within the next few months, we shall be disposing of shares in Safaricom, in Kenya Pipeline, and that will guarantee us the first 3 trillion shillings. Honorable Speaker, I am so proud today, as a leader in this country, that we have seen that come to fruition. Yesterday, Honorable Speaker, or the day before, if I am not wrong, the money for the Safaricom sale, 350 billion shillings, together with the sale of Kenya Pipeline, the 250 billion or so shillings from Safaricom and the 106 or so billion shillings is now securely in the National Infrastructure Fund. That gives us the capital to now raise a further 3 trillion shillings so that the investment-led growth that was seen as just talk becomes a reality, Honorable Speaker. The challenge is upon us as leaders that even as we legislate, and that's why I commended the members who sat with us throughout the night, last night, under the able chairmanship of Kimani Kuria. Honorable Speaker, I noted that that is the first departmental committee meeting I have attended in the last 3 years. And Kimani Kuria told me he was very proud that the first departmental committee meeting I attend is under his chairmanship. But of course, when you have such a brilliant chair, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Undo has just commented here that there was a macroeconomic class last night, and he was fortunate, as much as a very good teacher, to also learn a few things on extraordinary shocks to economies around the world. But Honorable Speaker, let me not be too wordy, but I was saying I am very proud of this 13th National Assembly. Very proud of all the members of this House. That notwithstanding the political grandstanding we have out there, we can come together and legislate on a matter that touches on the lives of each and every Kenyan. Not now, Honorable Speaker, because this Sovereign National Wealth Fund, is speaking to the current and future generations. That is why we have a foreign, sorry, not a foreign, in this sovereign wealth fund, that is why we have a future fund that speaks to future generations, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, let me say that our history or our space in the history of this nation is very secure, especially with the establishment of these two funds. And I want to ask all of us that even as we pass this bill, that the onus again is on us to ensure that the funds that we have set up, we offer proper and meaningful oversight, so that all these funds go to secure the future of our nation and transition us to that first world status that we have all envisioned. But we envisioned that first world status, Honorable Speaker, for many years since independence. But we were overtaken by others because we were afraid of doing the right thing. I must thank President William Ruto because he has not been afraid of the insults. He has been bold and courageous to do what is right. And I must thank the many members of parliament in this house. And I say in this house, Honorable Speaker, because it is only in this house you find courageous leaders who will opt to do the right thing and not what is popular, necessarily popular. And I've said here before, Honorable Speaker, it is not everything that you find is popular is right. That today we are doing what is right. It may not be popular, but it is the right thing to do for our country, and our place is secure in the history of our nation. I am very proud of this assembly, even as we go on recess today, Honorable Speaker. We have truly earned that recess, truly. And I will have a very restful recess these 3 weeks, Honorable Speaker, even as we do other things for our constituents. And even as I encourage others, those out there who are very fond of speaking, saying too many things, and we have challenged them always, Honorable Speaker, offer alternative solutions to the country. I am glad that as members of parliament, we have kept away from the noise out there. And even those who have picked the noise out there and brought it to the house, in shame, now they have had to apologize to the Kenyan people. I want to encourage them to continue sticking to what is true and honest to the people of Kenya, because you never need to apologize to anyone if you stick to the truth. But if you just pick things here and there to excite people and try and generate bonga points politically, you will not cease from apologizing. We will see you come over time and time again to apologize with or without your classroom notes. Honorable Speaker, I move, and I want to request that very able member of the Finance and National Planning Committee, Peter Kaluma Opondo, who ably guided us, especially on clause 5(2)(b) and clause 12, to see bigger things than many would have seen. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to start by thanking you for leading this House through history. And Honorable Speaker, you've sat in this House this afternoon from 2:30 to this time because of the monumental nature of the business we are transacting. Honorable Speaker, I attended with you the assent into law by the President of the Infrastructure Fund Act now. And Honorable Speaker, I still remember very clearly what His Excellency President William Ruto did indicate. That when he writes his autobiography, if I were to quote honorable members, he will remember the 13th Parliament as a parliament which has been greatly impactful in terms of giving this nation direction. And he said we will get some space there as parliament. And Honorable Speaker, I cannot agree more. Honorable Speaker, when you privileged me to preside over the second reading and general debate on this bill, before I proposed the question, honorable members, you remember, indicated that it appeared to me that history was beckoning at the 13th Parliament. And I did ask the question whether we were ready to grasp and to capture it. And Honorable Speaker, I was making that question, proposing the question and making that statement